The border scanner beeps. The officer frowns. Not because of a warrant, not because of a criminal record, but because a name appears that shouldn't exist. Not a legal name. An alias. VoidShift. The young man in the passenger seat stops breathing. Two black SUVs roll in silently from behind. Doors open. Weapons rise. His father screams as hands pull his son from the car and force his face into the asphalt. This wasn't bad luck. This was a summons. Because for years, the government had been watching a ghost. And tonight, the ghost finally crossed the wrong line. Evan Mercer is 21 years old. He studies computer science at a small university in the Midwest. He has long blonde hair, hollow eyes, and a habit of never logging out. Online, he's known as VoidShift. In certain corners of the internet, that name is spoken quietly. Evan lives inside the console modding underground, an ecosystem of cracked hardware, stolen firmware, and forbidden code. Games are not played here. They are dissected. To the outside world, it looks like harmless experimentation. But Evan's story doesn't begin with hacking. It begins with a broken car. The rear bumper on his sedan is shattered. The dealership refuses to ship the part out of state. So Evan asks an old online friend for help. Mark Hale, a reseller based in Delaware. They've known each other for years. Never met. Never shaken hands. The plan is simple. Drive across state lines. Pick up the bumper. Get dinner. Go home. Evan's father comes with him. They take the family car. They don't make it past the checkpoint. The officer scans Evan's license. Then his screen locks. A red alert flashes. An alias surfaces VoidShift. Evan feels something cold crawl up his spine. Before he can speak, rifles are raised. He's dragged from the car while his father watches, frozen, powerless. Evan Mercer is arrested in silence. Because Evan Mercer is not who the government has been tracking. VoidShift is. For nearly a decade, federal investigators had been mapping a growing digital infection, one that spread through gaming servers, corporate networks, and classified systems. A group that would later be called the Black Console Collective. They didn't break in with violence. They slipped through cracks. They weren't spies. They weren't soldiers. They were kids. Evan's descent began early. As a child, he learned to code instead of sleeping. He wrote his own browser, his own tools, his own rules. Then, in 2001, Microsoft released the original Xbox. A console pretending to be a toy. But Evan saw a machine. A computer sealed inside plastic. He learned how to open it. Communities formed in the shadows. People rewriting firmware. Installing Linux. Running software never meant to exist. Evan rose fast. He rewrote game physics. Bent gravity. Made worlds collapse. In 2005, the Xbox 360 arrived. This time, the locks were stronger. The only way in was a development kit. Restricted hardware meant only for verified studios. They weren't supposed to exist, but thousands were destroyed. Instead, they were dumped, recovered, sold. By 2009, Evan owned several. He resold them. That's how he met Mark. The kits unlocked something worse than games. PartnerNet, a private realm where unreleased builds lived, unfinished, unstable, and secret. Evan wandered through digital corridors never meant to be seen. His grades collapsed. His sleep disappeared. His sense of limits died. In 2011, a message arrived from Arizona. A 15-year-old named Lucas Reed. Online alias, Necrobite. Lucas had already been expelled for hacking his school district. He wasn't afraid. He was hungry. Another figure soon joined. Caleb Knox, alias Ironwave, a 26-year-old electronics savant living in his parents' basement in New Jersey. His room glowed with monitors and half-disassembled machines. Together, they became something else. The Black Console Collective. At first, it was access. Then money. Evan began selling invincibility cheats for competitive shooters. Players became gods for 30 minutes at a time. Cash flooded in. Warnings arrived. He ignored them. He thought he was untouchable. Until Lucas stole credentials from a major game studio. One password opened email. Email opened servers. Servers open source code. They found an unreleased flagship title years from launch. Caleb extracted it, encrypted it, shipped it across the country disguised as home movies. The leak detonated across the internet. The studio called federal authorities. Evan locked down his drives. Caleb vanished. Lucas didn't stop. He found a forgotten USB stick buried deep inside the network. Master access. From his bedroom, Lucas watched developers through their webcams. Heard meetings. Learned names. The group stopped playing games. They watched people. They breached everyone. Microsoft. Publishers. Chip manufacturers. Cloud providers. Media giants. Then they crossed into something alive. A Department of Defense server. A classified combat simulator used to train helicopter pilots. They downloaded it. They laughed. They named themselves the Black Console Collective. The laughter didn't last. Lucas posted photos of a stolen next-generation console prototype and auctioned it online. The internet noticed. So did the FBI. Raids came fast. Evan was caught first. Caleb went to prison. Another member panicked, ran, and later ended his life. Lucas disappeared overseas, leaving his mother to face charges meant for him. In court, one truth surfaced. The group had been leaking from the inside. Mark, the friend, the helper. Years later, Mark was arrested. Agents seized a luxury car and hundreds of thousands in cash. He received nearly 8 years in federal prison. Millions in fines. The Black Console Collective died quietly. Some members resurfaced in cybersecurity. Some vanished. Some never came back. What began as curiosity turned into obsession. Obsession turned into surveillance. Surveillance turned into a cage. And it all started with a broken car bumper. If you're still watching, you're one of us, and you know why. Like the video, comment, share it, and subscribe for what comes next. This is BHack World.